All right, I don't think Target saw this one coming. Over 700,000 boycotting the retailer over new bathroom policy, a fitting room choice, where Target is saying, look, whatever you think you are or feel you are, have at it. It's open season, whatever bathroom you want to use, whatever fitting room you want to use. Dr. Alveda King here on whether this goes too far. What these folks are saying is that's fine, have respect and sensitivity toward transgender folks, but what about the rest of us folks? What do you think of their argument?
Neil, I agree with that argument, with that discussion, because with everything up in the air as it is, and everybody's saying, well, we want to use the same restroom that you use, however we happen to feel about our gender, our sexuality, or whatever, how are we going to explain to the little children, to the young adults, and to those who, with the Judeo-Christian values, who've always lived in a nation that had a certain amount of order? And how are we going to explain to everybody and just pass a law, and all of a sudden, everyone goes in to use the restroom, and the little girls say, well, why is that guy in here? And then mommy has to say, well, you can't call him a guy, you can't call him a girl, you have to, that's too much to try to explain to a little child. And a law cannot make the child understand that.
You think of your uncle and you think of your dad. What would they say about this? This is, others have argued, and in this community, it's very much akin to civil rights. And you say what?
It is. I remember my dad in the 1950s. He was in Paris. You know, he was a prayer warrior and a strategist with his brother, my uncle Martin Luther King Jr. And Dad was in Paris, and he was trying to get to a restroom. In America, the bathrooms were marked men and women, but they were also marked black and white. And of course, over in Paris, it was just open restrooms. It was just public restrooms. So Daddy says,
regardless of color,
regardless of color and everything, you just go and use the bathroom.
Right.
So Daddy's looking for men, women, black, white, well, colored, Negro, and white. Right. And he says, ma'am, I need to go to the bathroom. And she says, we. And she points. And he says, bathroom, ma'am, bathroom. She says, we. He says, ma'am, I'm trying to wee-wee. Will you please tell me? And I can imagine that type of confusion as we're looking at our little children.
But he liked that. When he returned to America, he thought... Well,
he was explaining it to us, but we still had the order that we're accustomed to here. And so there are Judeo-Christian values, there are systems, there are morals to consider, but we still want to be compassionate. We don't want to be rude or mean to anyone, but that law is not going to make that family, that little girl, that little boy, really understand all of these complexities. We've got to
I have two younger children who I'm thinking of them. I'm very sensitive to those who deal with these transgender issues and all, but I'm also cognizant of my kids. And I don't think that necessarily makes me a bigot here. I just think that to be sensitive to a small slice of people in this country, which is fine.
We must be. We have to be.
But then we're ignoring everyone else and their sensitivities and concerns, namely parents. And I'm thinking of young women or women in the middle of the night who go to a gas station. They don't know
and they don't know who they may confront in the restroom. And so
but that's a bigoted argument, I'm told.
It's not really bigoted because you just don't know. That's rational, that's sensible. And I think now we're going to have to really teach our children, protect our children, watch our children. For that lady who needs to go to that restroom at 3 o'clock in the morning and she goes and doesn't know what she should encounter. These are really valid concerns. They're not mean-spirited. They are not hateful. We love everybody.
So what do you tell the transgender person, let's say a man who thinks and feels deep in his heart that he's a woman, or vice versa? Well,
I say, sir, that is a question. And it's a valid question. And I care. And I'm concerned about your life. And I should be. However, the place to debate and deal with that and settle it is not right now in the public restrooms of America.
Thank you, Alveda. Good seeing you again. You know we're going to get a ton of email on this.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say it's all Alveda.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm kidding. It's so good seeing you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.